All eyes is on me. Won't tell no lies, won't hold my tongue.
What's up, people out there in the internet? Listen, you know I don't get on here unless I have something to say, something to share. You know, I'm not one of the ones who get on here that try to show off and brag, and no offense to those who do. I'm not trying to shame you or I'm not judging. I'm just speaking for myself. And just a different angle to see things that may be obvious to what you and how you see and how you perceive life. So I want to touch on this relationships because it's kind of unavoidable. Every time I get on the internet, it's men and women bickering with each other, women bickering with men in a masculine frame, and men bickering with women in a feminine frame. So I figured I'll come bring some balance in here and just give you a little bit of insight, since this is mentality right here. It's a quote of mine that I thought about a couple years ago. The equivalent of a man's knowledge and guidance is a woman's wisdom and compliance. Now, I know off the bat, especially the women out here, it's going to touch a nerve when y'all hear the word compliance. I know all of y'all got a smartphone, a little supercomputer in your purse, in your pockets, or close by you. All you have to do, hit up Siri. If you got Alexa in your house, hit up Alexa and ask Alexa or Siri to spell the word compliance, or what's the definition of the word. Now, I always ask for the spelling because I get two pieces of information at the same time. I get the definition of words, the denotation, meaning the literal definition of the word, and then I also get to go through a little spelling of it. So you just get to feed your brain on two ways, as well as learning or getting the information that you were asking in the first place. So compliance does not mean use of some subservient slave, blind follower of a man and docile, and you got to just follow what a man says no matter what. That's not what compliance means. Got it? With that being said, let me say the quote again. The equivalent, look up the word equivalent too if you need to. The equivalent of a man's knowledge and guidance is a woman's wisdom and compliance. If you want to really get the full scope, look up the word knowledge, look up the word wisdom, look up the word equivalent, and look up the word compliance. All right? The equivalent is equal. That's what that means. Now, with that being said, a lot of times I hear married people and people in relationships, they always refer to their relationships as work. Oh, it's so hard. It's so much work, and it's work to be together and everything else. That's something I never subscribe to because I know what work is. I know how hard work is. And so the last thing I want to be in is in a relationship where I got to do all this hard ass work. The hard work you should be doing is on yourself. On yourself. Daily evaluation and daily reflection on yourself. That's where you're supposed to do the hard work at. What I call the divine D's: discipline, diligence, determination, and dedication. No particular order. That's where the work's supposed to go, not in your relationship. There is no valid reason anybody can give me of why a relationship with another person is supposed to be work or should be work, or work is something that that a relationship is supposed to have in order for it to be successful, and is what is required in order for it to be successful. If I come ask one of y'all to come on this other side of this sofa, this couch, and I get on the other end, and because we're both going to move it, it's supposed to be easier for us both to move this couch. So when we come together, we make it easier. Now, I can lift it on my own, but it's going to be harder than if I ask one of you all to come on the other end and help me out. So that's a relationship. You helping me lift the couch to get it where I wanted to get it. Same thing in a relationship. We come together to make our environment, our experience of life better for both of us, not starting to work on it with each other, not one person doing more of the heavy lifting, if you will, than the other person. and other person just sitting back telling you where to go. Nah, it's not supposed to work like that. It's supposed to be equitable for everyone.
OG talk.
Right? You feeling that? But since all of y'all out here like to make everything harder than it needs to be, and y'all look at relationships and marriages as work, then if we're going to look at it like work, let's approach it like work. The relationship that you get in, bring your resume. And let's review each other's resume. Now, a lot of the talking points, a lot of the beef between the men and women these days, especially and specifically in the Black community, is protect and provide for men, meaning pay the bills, I guess, is what y'all just deem protection as. And then, providing as. And the protection is that, if you get in a fight, that you're supposed to like defend a woman. And then the woman on the men's side, what they say is sex and cooking and cleaning. Now, before I get into this a little further about the resume, look how antiquated that type of mindset is. I know a lot of y'all out here that's watching this video, a lot of y'all like celebrities, and a lot of y'all deal with idolatry and fanaticism, meaning y'all fans of famous people, quote unquote famous people, right? Look at most of those people in their relationships. They have those things that y'all talk about, the protecting and providing. They have the endless funds where they can provide and protect. A lot of them got bodyguards and all kind of shit. Same thing with the ladies. They got enough money where they can pay people, the chefs and things like that, to cook and clean. So why is J-Lo have 9 different 7, 8, 5, 6, 7 different marriages? If protecting and providing and cooking and cleaning and sex was so fundamental to the success, happiness, peace, and growth of a relationship, then why do these celebrities always crash and burn? That's your indicator right there that there's something more to it that's missing. And though those things are special, if you will, or important, they're not special, meaning that they are not the components that are critical for success, the components that are critical for growth and love, peace, and happiness. Because if it were, then J-Lo would only be married like once. And other celebrities and things like that would only be married once. Because they have the provision and the protection, and they have the sex and the money, and the cooking and the cleaning. They can pay people to do that. So clearly there's things that are missing that neither of those individuals embody. The man and the woman don't embody. Or one embodies it and the other doesn't, and they make it work, i.e., I don't want to come on the other side of the couch and help you lift it up. And then therefore, the things that I'm going to mention on the resume are lacking. And once that newlywed stage mentally and physically subsides, and then the realness starts to kick in, neither one are equipped to deal with what is required in a relationship to make it something that is a semblance of longevity and also to death do us part, which is what it's supposed to be about when it becomes to matrimony, not work. So with that being said, come with it as a resume. Are you a good communicator? Are you driven? Are you self-aware? Are you lovable? Do you possess leadership qualities? Are you a good listener? Which is a critical component that most people don't have when it comes to communication. And just like any other job, since y'all talk about it being work, you got a probation period, 6 months to a year, and a quarterly review, or bi-quarterly, or bi-yearly, or yearly, however you want to do it in your relationship, where you have a review as individuals and as a collective in the relationship, where you sit down and you discuss where you were and who you were individually and as a couple 6 months, 3 months, 12 months ago. And if there's any areas that one is lacking in, that's supposed to be the emphasis going forward and re-reviewed in the next review. Y'all call it work, right? So let's make it something that is advantageous to the relationship as opposed to focusing on protection and provision, sex and cooking and cleaning. And then all those other things become dormant. And once they become dormant, things that are detrimental, just like weeds in a garden, start to grow and start to infiltrate other aspects of your relationship, eventually smothering it out. Now, again, protecting and providing those things, those are things are necessities, just like cooking and cleaning is a necessity. Sex is a necessity, for sure. So I'm not saying that those things don't matter, so y'all don't have to try to come attack me and try to have rebuttals and all of these type of things. I'm just giving a different perspective, a different angle to see things than what just may be obvious to you. Lastly, and then I'll close on this. Any relationship that you enter in, you and the individual need to be able to answer these 4 questions. These 4 questions should be a prerequisite before you enter into any relationship. And if you can't answer these things, you should not be able to should not want to enter into a relationship. And if the person that you're with can't answer it, those should be deal breakers, or a deal breaker if they can't answer it. Not necessarily an indicator about the person being a bad a person or not. This doesn't mean that you're a bad person if you can't answer these questions yet. But it should be something that is fundamental to the foundation that you want to build yourself upon and your relationship that you have. Those 4 things are in no particular order. How did I get here? Meaning where you're at right now in life. Where did I come from? Meaning having a clear understanding about your path and your past that brought you to where you are. Where am I going? And you don't want to have no 5-year plan. No, that's too far in the future. That's too much foresight. You want to have a 3, 6, 12-month foresight and forethought about where your future will go. And lastly, but equally important, which is, who am I?
OG talk.
Where did I come from? How did I get here? Where am I going? And who am I? Those are the 4 questions you need to ask in every relationship. So when y'all out on your dates and all of this, instead of worrying about flowers and if the restaurant costs $200 and all that bullshit, go to the park, go get ice cream, go, I don't know, go fishing, go, I don't know, go anywhere, go to the library or something. Break the monotony of what you're doing and sit down with the person to talk to them and see if they possess these things that are really essential and necessary to foster a thriving and prosperous relationship, one that is equitable and beneficial for everyone involved, especially if you're planning on having kids. Salute. Got to get back to the game, man. I'll holler at y'all soon. Do with this what you will, do with it what you feel. One love.
Won't tell no lies, won't hold my tongue.